Hello and welcome to the Wolfchase Toyota Insider of the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Bridle alongside Kevin Robinson. Coach, talked to you a few weeks ago. That's about the last time you competed. You've had about 3 weeks off before you're going to get ready to go down to Tuscaloosa this weekend. That 3 weeks of just training and recovery, how's that helped?
Well, I think it's served us well on several different fronts. It's given the athletes and the new coach a chance to kind of understand each other and get a chance for them to work together a little bit and understand his methods and his philosophies. And it's also allowed for a little more recovery time for some of the kids that were a little banged up. And thirdly, it's given us more time to train and prepare and hopefully put us in a position to be more competitive in the following weeks.
A few weeks ago, we talked about bringing Ken Fournette in. He's been with the team a little bit now, and of course, track and field background, you know it all. But I know you're probably glad to have a little help, have a distance guy, because we've talked before. And we talked when you talked about his background a few weeks ago. It's a different mentality that the distance runners have. I'm sure they're pretty pleased to have a distance guy.
Yeah, I think I mentioned the last time we talked. I think they're pretty happy to be rid of me for a little while. But I mean, seriously, Ken he's jumped into a difficult situation, mid-season. He's done a great job thus far. He's done a really good job of being able to relate to the kids and to get their support and to get them more motivated about what he wants to do and how he wants to do it, and getting them to learn his philosophies and train of thought a little bit. So those 3 weeks that we've had without competition, I think has served that purpose. And like I said, it was a tough situation for him coming in, but I think he's done a really good job of managing it. And the kids have responded really, really well to him. And it's still really early in terms of the student-coach relationship, but I think the bonds are starting to grow and the trust is starting to appear. And so far I think he's done a very good job.
It was a good span for him to come in and kind of take over, because you're coming off a little bit of momentum at the Rhodes College Invitational. Of course, you got a win with the women, a third place finish with the men, so that was a nice bounce back meet, and you got momentum within that period.
Yeah, I mean, so far he's 1-0, which is a pretty good record for a cross-country coach. But yeah, it was a good time frame for us and for him because he didn't have to jump in and immediately turn around and try to compete. So it gives him a chance to do some of his workouts and, again, molding to his philosophy a little bit. It always takes a little time, that transition between, an outgoing coach and an incoming coach. So, yeah, hopefully we can continue that momentum. That they did have a pretty nice weekend at Rhodes. The girls did especially. And, I'm excited to see them get back out there and compete again and see how we've grown.
Have some of your athletes you're still trying to get in there to compete that didn't compete last time. One for the women, Kristen, and you have Steven and Diego. How are they coming along?
Kristen is getting stronger every week. She's been pain-free for about 4 or 5 weeks now. She's been able to engage in some of the workouts, and she's doing a really, really good job. So she's not at her best yet, but she's pain-free and she's healthy. So as long as she can continue to train and stay healthy, then she'll be a huge factor for that women's team. Steven has unfortunately battled a couple of different injuries throughout the season. He's coming off of Achilles issue and then a heel bruise and a twisted ankle, and I mean, you name it, Steven's been there. But he's a tough kid, and he wants more than anything in the world to be out there competing and leading that group of guys. So I'm confident that when the time comes, Steven will be ready. It just seems like his road sometimes is a little tougher than others. And Diego, he's up on his feet, he's running again, but he's not quite able to do the workouts yet. So he's probably still a few weeks out from being able to really help the team. But again, the health of the student athlete is first and foremost, and we're trying to bring him back gradually and find ourselves not in this position again.
Coach, this weekend originally you were going to head up to Louisville for a meet. You've switched that. You go down to Tuscaloosa for the Crimson Classic, and that's not just because it's a little bit closer. You're thinking the big picture here, a little strategy probably playing into getting on this course.
Yeah, the NCAA Regional Championships for us is in Tuscaloosa, so it gives the teams an opportunity to race on what is a very, very challenging course and preview it a little bit before that regional meet. So it's going to be a little smaller in terms of numbers, but it's going to be very, very competitive. And I think it's a great opportunity for them to be on a competitive course without a lot of bodies banging around, and you know, a chance for them to get a taste of it before that regional meet rolls around.
I know it's a challenging course, so a little bit more of a preview. What do you want to get out of this course and this meet in particular this week?
Well, it's a hilly course, a lot of change of direction. I mean, it's not a flat track on grass kind of cross-country meet. I mean, this is truly a cross-country meet. So I think it's going to be very challenging on how the kids attack the hills and how they prepare themselves mentally and how they stay focused mentally throughout the duration of the race. You know, everybody comes out of the gate swinging, but then, you know, when you've got a 5, 6K or even an 8K race, it's really difficult to keep that focus throughout the entire race. And that's one of the things we're really trying to stress, is to stay focused the entire time, to be willing to push through your pain barriers. And I think this will give us an opportunity to really see where they're at.
Sounds good. Coach, as always, we appreciate it.
Thank you, Jeff.
And it's Kevin Robinson. I'm Jeff Brightwell for the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.